this is Humaira Maiman. I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's from Abida Inamda Senior College. I'm here on behalf of Litt magazine, Literature Redefined. Litt magazine is brought to you by Abida Inamda Senior College's English department. It is situated in Azam campus, Pune, India. Do not forget to check our website magazinelit.blogspot.com and other social media channels for more information. Welcome to our talk show, Know Your Real Champions. Today, here we are in conversation with Miss Bindu Rao. Miss Bindu Rao has completed her BBM in Finance from Alliance Business Academy, completed her MBA from Alliance University. Then she started working in HSBC, where she worked for almost 4 years. After that, she also worked in a speed dating company for 3 months. After that, she started pursuing stand-up comedy as a full-time job. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, ma'am. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Humaira. It's pleasure to be here.
Thank you, ma'am. So, without further ado, I would like to start with the interview. My question for you is, what is that inspired you to become a comedian, stand-up comedian? What was the thing that inspired you?
I used to watch a lot of comedy before I became a comedian. I used to be one of those regular members who you can always expect in the audience. That if no matter how many people come in the audience, I know that Bindu will be there. I was that person, and there were times when I would actually sit and watch 5 or 6 comedy shows back to back on weekends, and I would just watch that. I would feel really good, and I would go back home, and I would always think that maybe I should do this also. I had a big break between the time when I was in college and I pursued my job. So throughout my life, I've always been on stage. I've always been like a head girl, the monitor, the house representative, and things like that. And I was always involved in activities like debate, quizzing, or any stage activity. So once when I joined the office, I did feel like maybe I should get back on stage because I was missing the stage a lot. I'm just glad I found out that I love stand up comedy, and I was able to like pursue that. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. Doing something that you're passionate about, it's like a dream come true for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we get into like more technical questions about this, I would like to we would like to really know, me and my audience, something about your childhood. Like, what kind of a child were you?
Oh, okay. I think I was definitely a very weird kid. Like I would just like turn on the what do you call it, the water cooler, and yeah, I would just look at the water just flooding everywhere, and I would like go afar, start clapping, like just like slightly mischievous and weird would be the perfect description for me. And since my childhood only, my mom realized that like I had a very dark sense of humor, and I really enjoyed watching like thriller and action movies as a kid also. So I always look at myself as a tomboy, and a person who's like always never fit in, I think.
That's that sum up your childhood. Yeah, it is, but it is good to be like standing out and being outside the box when people tell, instead of being normal and doing something that is extraordinary and being happy in the way that you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
My next question for you is that you are in a generation, and we come from a different generation. Like we are in our teens and early 20s. What is the difference that you notice in kids from your generation and kids from our generation? Like the childhood, what was the difference in it? Do you notice any difference?
So what I feel is people of your generation, they actually have quicker access to things. Like if I had to search something, I had to like physically go to the library, ask the librarian, have you read this book? did you find this piece of information here? Or I would have to approach someone much older, basically, to get extremely reliable information. But you all are very lucky that you can just type anything you want and you will get an answer for it. And even if you don't, there are so many forums where you can actually ask a question and people like search for your answer and like provide you the answer within 2 or 3 days. I think that's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it's like a blessing for us. We cannot imagine about not living without, like living without it. It's like seems impossible to us because we're so reliable on it now.
Right, absolutely. So I think from this generation, what I've observed is they are a lot more willing to try out new things compared to people of my generation. I think after an age, you just become that person that, okay, I've tried these, I did not like this, so I may not try this in future. So I think you give things a chance. That is an addition to your generation for sure.
Totally. I agree with you on that thing. And I would like to ask, who is your role model and why?
I think there are so many of them. I actually was struggling with writing an answer for this question. Uh, so I think role model would definitely be Joan Rivers. She's a stand-up comedian based in America, and like she's one of those person who's just brutally honest, and she's been very vocal that she has had a nose job before, and she's like, I had a mediocre nose, and now I've gone under the knife and done it. So a lot of people do this thing, but they do not have the guts to admit it outright. And she's like very honest, very brutal. She gives out her opinion on Twitter, and she's very vocal about her opinions. So I think like one thing with which I've seen with her is she has always said that there will always be different standards for women, that women always are held with like you have to have a higher standard if you're a woman and things like that. And she's like, no, I want to be a mess. I don't want to wear makeup every day and things like that. So I really like her, and she has a great work ethic as well. So I keep looking forward to her uh, Netflix specials and whatever work she does uh, in real life also.
She sounds amazing. I've heard her through a few of them, her stand-up comedians on Netflix. She sounds amazing. Well,
And she was actually on Graham Norton's show, and Jake Gyllenhaal was there. She made Jake Gyllenhaal laugh his ass off, and there were two more gentlemen who were from the car show. I forgot the name of. It's the most watched car show, and they were like, no, let her speak. She's much more entertaining than us combined. So they just let her take the spotlight, which I loved actually.
I want to ask you another question. My question is here: how is stand-up comedian? Like, can you tell the student community for a person from, like, we see stand-up comedy, like we see from the audience point of view. How is it from the stage? What is as it to be a stand-up comedian?
So I think being a stand-up comedian requires a lot of discipline, which may not be as evident on your stage performance. So behind that, you looking comfortable on stage, also there's a lot of effort which goes into looking effortless on stage. That is one thing, and there are a lot of things which keep running through our mind while we are performing. Like we always second guess ourselves, and I feel like we should like not doubt ourselves as much and just be 100% confident on stage. And one more thing which a lot of people don't realize is that we are not funny 100% of the time, and 90% of the times I go to work, I fail. Like for a joke to work, I have to find multiple ways in which the joke doesn't work for me. uh, for example, if I would do a joke about me being promiscuous, it may not sound as believable. But if someone else has the looks and physique for it, it would be more believable for them. So it always has to be your truth, and not like a made up version of you, because audience can definitely find out if you're lying, and if you're not being true to yourself, they definitely find it out very quickly.
Like a trial and error process, stand-up comedian, like to be a stand-up comedian.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of things like tune, tone, voice modulation. You have to try different variations, different genres of comedy. That what I'm saying, does it sound better in a sarcastic tone, or should I be like very nice while I'm saying it, so that it sounds formal but I'm sarcastic as well. So you will have to try out different permutations and combinations in that as well.
I get it. It's like a really hard job. Seems like a very easy, but it's really like a hard job. My question is, my question for another question for you is that what if some student they want to become a stand-up comedian? What are the qualities that they should have in them to become a stand-up comedian?
I think you should be shamelessly regular to, if you want to make it as a stand-up comedian. You have to be very shameless and ask for spots. You have to be shameless and keep repeating the same material in different manners till you achieve what you're looking for. And you also have to learn to you should have a social game as well. That on stage, what's your persona, off stage, like how do you get things done for you. So that is also a very important point. Like a lot of people just they crib that I am not getting this stage time I wanted and things like that. But like, we are not mind readers. You will have to ask for it, or you will have to uh, basically face more rejections in asking for things as well. And on a daily basis you face so many rejections, like some of your colleagues might be getting a writing gig which you weren't a part of. Some people decided to do a show, and you have a lot of jokes on that theme, but they decided not to do a show with you. So there are these many things which keep happening in the background, so you will have to be very headstrong, very determined that by this timeline I want to achieve this, and try multiple ways to achieve that goal. So you have to be very motivated, and you cannot slump as much, because right now if you see the speed at which content is being created, it's making even a topical joke obsolete within a day. If you look at Twitter, right, in Twitter every day there's one topic which is trending, the next day the topic is completely different. So now the shelf life of a joke has also reduced. Before, a person used to do the same jokes for like 3 or 4 years without any hesitation. But now people are much more aware of things, and they're like, hey, I watched this show 2 years ago and this person had the same jokes. So people do get a lot of information around them as well, and you have to work really hard to be noticed, and to get the traction you're getting on social media and real life as well.
That's true. It is. It sounds like I'm telling now, but when we think as an audience, it seems like a really easy job. But when you describe it to us like that, then it seems like yeah, it's a really hard job. Like it's a full commitment job. Like you need to be really committed to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
My one question, my one question for you is that how we talked about there is a generation gap between your generation and my generation. So when you're up on this stage, does the age group of audience matter? Like you alter your jokes and you alter the way you speak according to what kind of people are sitting in the audience, or is it same for everybody?
So mostly, if parents are, if just imagine if parents and kids are there. So I will try to get the parents on board, because they are very skeptical bunch, and they're like, why should I listen to this person who's younger than me? Why is this person giving me advice while being younger and not having much life experiences? So I will have to tell them stories which they relate to and which were relevant to their times, which they keep telling their kids. So I always start off by saying those things. And when it comes to kids, I think anything related to technology or the current trends, if I talk about anything pop culture, that usually does the trick. And like, I do not do any political religious comedy, and I do clean comedy, so that's a very good place to be at, because clean comedians do get a lot of corporate gigs. So yeah, I
Yeah.
try to involve both the generations in that joke, like as many generations as possible would be great.
But considering the audience that come to you is like a factor that you consider while speaking, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I so just like a dish, an edible dish, you have to change it according to the audience you are providing it to. Like at your home also it might be happening, right? Like there are some relatives who
Yeah.
don't like spicy food, so for them particular, you make non spicy food. Or some people want less oil, so you have to factor that in and make it according to them. So
Yeah, totally. It's like according to it. My question for another question for you is like, what has turned out to become the biggest turning point in your life? Like after that, your life completely changed.
I think the turning point for me was there were auditions at that comedy club in Bangalore, and I think there were around 500 to 600 people who had auditioned to open for future spots. And I was just thinking one day that, I looked at a poster on Book My Show, and I was like, I just hope I can open for this show. And within 2 days, I got a call and I opened for that show. So the people I was opening for were Sumukhi Sureshan and Neeti Palta. So that was probably one day where I think I was in the clouds, and I was like, are you supposed to meet your idol so soon? I just thought of them 2 days ago and I'm meeting them right away. So in comedy, it's very like you basically reach this, like you meet your idols a lot faster than any other industry, I would say. So it's very rewarding.
And what are your future plans? What do you plan to more achieve more in life, or you're just going with the flow?
So future plan is to be probably more active on LinkedIn, because it's a platform where many comedians haven't explored it except Rahul Subramaniam, and he's doing great at it. And one more thing is probably to create more content on Reel, because right now Instagram Reel is really doing well, and probably move on to YouTube Shorts and try to create at least one video a day or one piece of content a day would definitely be an achievement. And like, I only sit and edit my videos, create the cover pages of all that and all. So it does take a lot of time, that you have to come up with an idea. You have to be very confident about the idea that, this is a great idea and I should implement it. And by the time you upload it, you find out that, okay, someone else has done something in the similar lines. So that keep happening a lot too. So you will have to post it before someone else does. So that pressure is always there to do much better than someone else.
My another question for you is, this is what a magazine where youngsters are watching and all other people who are like in their early 20s and they are watching. So do you have any message for the student community through you want to convey through this platform?
So I think I would definitely tell everyone to be punctual, and probably be like 20-30 minutes early to everything. Because what I've seen in life is, if you're early to if you reach the venue early, or if you reach places early, you actually get to network with people who are in your domain, and you get to meet a lot of new people also. So meeting these new people actually gives you the opportunity to basically change jobs, or I think these people are the most crucial people you'll ever meet. So I think people you meet at a water cooler, people you meet at a smoke break. Can I say smoke break?
Yes, you can. It's all right.
Okay. So basically, people you meet in social gatherings of your same industry, it's a great place to be at, and you should always thrive to go to other events where you feel like you could get work from there. So, like if there is some what do you say, ad agency convention, I would definitely like to go there because I'm a creative person, and who knows, if anyone is looking out for a creative person and I happen to be there, they wouldn't they would prefer me over someone else they have not met for a job or anything, if the conversation and everything goes really well. So that is another way of like getting contacts. Even I would say, like, many of us we tend to be like, no, I just want to watch this show and be at home. Please don't do that, because you never know what you might miss in the next social gathering. So you just keep an eye out of like what you can get, or what different is there in this social gathering which I may not find in my in the series which I'm watching. So yeah, I'm creating FOMO in this part, but yeah, I think that also keeps you on your toes, that like that feeling of, oh no, did I miss something, am I gonna miss something if I don't go there? So I think that feeling also, like that hungry feeling, also makes you achieve a lot more in life.
My next question for you is, in your opinion, in life, who do you think are the real champions?
So I think people who have able to keep their fear in control are the real heroes or heroines of their life. Because like when I had that slump of not being on stage from my college days to corporate, and then going into stand up comedy, almost for a good year I used to go on stage almost every day, and still right before I got my chance to be on stage, I would just be nervous. I would just be like the entire time. You just have to get over that feeling to achieve something in life. I feel that, if you've gotten over this, you will not second doubt yourself as much, and you will just achieve a lot more in life, I feel.
Okay. And anything you would like to add to at the end?
I think all the students right now are doing great. I just want to say that there are a lot more. There are many initiatives in multiple cities and towns where, like, students have like personally helped the elderly, like get groceries during COVID, uh, like raise funds for some needy someone who's more needier than them. So I think our future is pretty secure if everyone is doing their job, and everyone is doing much more beyond their job. I think we are all sorted. We all the students are sorted. You should not second guess yourself so much. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do what your heart says.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If as long as it's not illegal, just go for it.
Okay. With this, we come to the end of the session. It was really great talking to you and getting to know other side of the like being on the stage and how it is. It was really great knowing all that, because we as students and we everybody, we sit in the audience and we just sit and judge people and all that. But it was really great knowing you and everything. It was very benefited. You gave us a load of information that would help us really. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having us here. My cat also wants to say hello. Okay. That one fast.
It is all right. And with this, we come to the end of the session of our today's talk show, Know Your Real Champions, in a conversation with Bindu Rao. Thank you, everybody.